Hello, Cancerian moon children. Welcome to February 2020. Okay, this month is pretty powerful, generally speaking. It's got a really unique flavor to it. It's different than what we were experiencing with those eclipse seasons, with the eclipse season in the beginning of the new year and all the work we were doing in January to really connect with our foundations and figure out what was really working for us. February is still a time of assessment and depth. For Cancerians, it's a really interesting month because it's your 8th house, especially if you're a Cancer rising. Aquarius season has with it this sense of changing shape, of shedding a skin, of fully stepping into those changes in life. So you may find, this time of year tends to be a really potent time where you redefine what you really want for the months ahead, where you feel that maybe this is where you get greater clarity even than what you find you connect with during the new year and all of those energies in the solstice. You may find February being a really powerful time of recalibrating that because as the sun moves through Aquarius, which is your 8th house, it also moves into Pisces, your 9th house this month, which is all about that big world vision and the way you view it and the way you view your place in it. And so we have the sun transiting those signs, and then we also have Mercury entering into Pisces on February 3rd and then beginning his retrograde. It's retrograde on February 17th, moving back through Pisces and into Aquarius until March 10th. So we are doing some work as well there. And I'm really a big fan of this Mercury retrograde. If you're looking for a deeper discussion of that, I will be putting one up on my Patreon very soon. So if you're looking for a little bit more guidance when it comes to Mercury retrograde, it's a great place to start. A great place to connect in with what that energy is really doing. But part of what it's doing there is it's a time to review. It's a time to take in the information you've been given and really hear your soul, hear what's coming up thematically for you. So it's a really powerful time. And like I said, it's transiting through a fellow water sign of Pisces, which is very great for you because you can really check in with how you perceive yourself in the world, how you perceive your mission in the world. And the big message that came through for me in the Cancer world is that this month can offer you really big, new, bold insights into who you want to be in this life. You may be surprised by some of the information coming through as far as who you're becoming, what that's going to look like, things that maybe 6 months ago you never considered as big, important parts of your path moving forward are now really bold and vibrant, and you're kind of coming up with new ways you want to do work in the world, new ways you want to enjoy your partnership, new ways of envisioning the next few years of your life. And this month could be really powerful for bringing in that information. Knight of Cups. Ooh, romance right off the bat. I love it. So you may be finding that there is that review time. You have some pretty powerful placements. Not only is Aquarius going to be bringing up that skin shedding kind of transformational energy, you also have a full moon in Leo, your neighboring sign, and that house of value, of self-worth, that's on February 9th. 8 of Swords. All right. A little overthinking going on there. 9 of Swords, actually. That full moon in your house of value. I think whenever we have energy lighting up our second house, it's a really beautiful house. It's a house ruled by Venus. It's ruled by like what we love and value. It's kind of, but I often find this is where we check in with our self-value and letting ourselves feel like rich in ourselves. And so that full moon's going to be lighting that up and asking you, Page of Pentacles, love it. Are you feeling worthy of all this good stuff? Are you letting yourself feel fully loved? Are you letting yourself feel the boldness, 9 of Pentacles, that is coming up and out of you at this time, because it is quite vibrant. It's quite it's the Technicolor is almost the way I would put the inputs coming in during this month of February. There's kind of a sense of you tapping into this next version of yourself, and it can almost be scary. 7 of Pentacles. A lot of pentacles. I'm loving that. We also have Venus, the planet of love, moving into Aries this month on the 7th. And that is hitting your 10th house of your career. And I think this is really beautiful. I think Venus in Aries is always an interesting transit. She's not totally comfortable in Aries, but that determined energy of Aries, Venus being put in there, it redefines what we think of as accomplishment in life and where we're finding that sense of accomplishment. You know, it's Venus is not going to want that accomplishment to come from a sense of domination or fear or shoulds. She's going to want determination to come from a place of love, of beauty. Ace of Cups, love, beauty, enjoyment, opportunity. So you have like a really beautiful placement there to really think about the impact you want to make in the world with the work you do and how you're doing that. Is it coming from a place of joy and love? Maybe there are places you want to reconnect with in that. The other big thing that's happening is Mars is moving into Capricorn, your opposing sign. We've been doing a ton of work. The Cancerian clan has been doing a ton of work. The Lovers, wow. I'm loving this reading so far. A ton of work in relationship, right? A ton of work in vulnerability, relating, finding new tools within that, and Mars being in your opposing sign, just like let's add more into the Capricorn mix because, you know, we don't have enough planets over there as it is, right? There's something going on there though with a determination to make plans, to get things in motion when it comes to relationships. This is a great planning month, even though we have a Mercury retrograde. This is a great month and King of Cups, I love it. This is a great month to check in with, you know, the steps you're making. This is, once again, you're reviewing, you're looking at stuff, you're taking the time to really parse through. So any plans you make during Mercury retrograde, I'm not saying they're going to fall through, not by a long shot. What's going to happen is that it's harder to just force yourself to do things during a softer transit like that. So the things that end up getting done are really meaningful and very deep and have a lot of nutrition, soul nutrition to them, rather than it being about the fluff or the appearance of getting things done, right? And that's where I think we often have discomfort with Mercury retrograde, is we don't get to have the appearance of the busy work and the talking and the storytelling. And we're being forced to just do like quality control there and just do things that are a lot deeper. Your cards, Cancer, are really quite beautiful. And, you know, the note that I had, I don't know if I even told you all of it, was that, you know, this is a month that's going to also show you to love yourself and trust this process, even when it feels really big and scary and you're stepping into maybe an identity or a role that you felt was too big for you right now, right? But you can feel it in your bones. It's coming out of you. You're stepping into something really bold and fresh. This month is going to help you connect in with that. And what I'm seeing here is that the elements are coming together to support you in that and bolster you in that. So I'm really loving seeing that. Bolster you in what you're doing in the world, your role in the world, your role in your relationships, and letting you fully embody a really empowered, strong, and I mean strong as in fully present parts of yourself. And to be really loved and seen and cherished as you become that. So like, in the process of it, it can be messy, it can be scary, you can kind of show different aspects of yourself, and this process is here to bolster you and nurture you. So what's so interesting, look at these first three cards. Knight of Cups, Nine of Swords, Page of Pentacles. You know, this Knight and this Page are just bringing in so much goodness, right? Romance, love, truth, and beauty, all those beautiful ooey gooey things. Once again, Venus and Aries. Venus wants to recalibrate what we think of as determination. What's determination if we are doing it through the filter of love and enjoyment and softness, right? What will work look like? What will love look like when we're doing that? Knight of Cups is very much on board with that. And even just as planets start to move into Pisces throughout the month of February, we're getting more of that Piscean loveliness that bolsters the sweet softness of life. Like, things can be really good with Knight of Cups around, right? Infusing your life with some romance, some sweetness. Page of Pentacles is bringing in, you know, those opportunities for, you know, home environment, for monetary investments, for educational opportunities, for things that are really also quite big and bold. You know, Knight and Page are both kind of fresh energies, right? they're the beginning of a process rather than the completion of a process, and kind of opening up some doors. But I think this Nine of Swords in the middle of it is really interesting, right? Because here's that overthinking mind coming in and saying, am I allowed to have this? Can I trust that this stuff is coming in? Maybe it's just going to leave me, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I need to look at something. You know, Nine of Swords really represents the nighttime brain, which isn't always great at coming up with solutions to problems, as we know. It might be good at coming up with some pretty fantastical stories. Not so great at just black and white. Here it is. You may be feeling some overwhelm. You may be feeling some pressure. You may be feeling some anxiety or exhaustion and nervousness about letting yourself step into all this big, bold new energy. And I think that's fine, because the reality is, you know, I can speak to this just as I'm working through these readings and working through the end of January. Some of the best times in our lives, when we're opening up the most, can bring about some of the deepest grieving, the deepest anxiety as well. Because what we're doing there is we're feeling the full range of emotions as we grow and as we expand and as we change our vibrational pattern. It's a very normal and powerful and important part of the process. So it makes a lot of sense that that card is there. Now, it doesn't mean that there's something to actually worry about. It's just what we do when we're feeling a lot of big emotions. And I'm honestly not surprised. I'm a really big advocate of the conversation that needs to happen when it comes to life being really rich and good. That's such a good thing. And all these cards that are coming up next are about getting deeper in your relationships, getting infusions of deeper levels when it comes to your home environment, to your partnerships, both in love and in work, and in really fully embracing this next version of yourself. But when that's happening, you know, when we're really maybe having some of the best times of our life, there's often really deep emotions that come along with that. And we really do feel the full range of them. And that's the only way you can really be fully present for the whole package. So you may be noticing those themes coming up. And part of your practice this month, during the Mercury retrograde, during your 8th house transit with the sun moving through Aquarius, is to trust more. So we have all this infusion of energy, right? Here's what's also interesting. There is an assessment going on with your possessions and your home environment and your grounding and your roots. And this is actually really nice, gentle energy. This isn't extremes by any stretch of the imagination. So Nine of Pentacles is very much having everything you need, right? You've got, you know, Little Miss Independent here, but like this is all about feeling that you really have, you know, stable space to live in. You have what you need financially, right? Like and you feel really solid in that. And Seven of Pentacles is assessing what you really want within that. You know, you may even have things that within this abundance of Nine of Pentacles that you don't need, or that you're not needing anymore. And I feel like, you know, as we grow and we add new things into our lives and we're learning new skill sets, this is also a great time while that's happening to sit and just notice what you can let go of, what you don't need to harvest anymore, maybe now that you have these other new things in your life. So this is quite gentle, quite behind the scenes, low level, checking in with your possessions and your routines and what you're wanting to harvest next. So that's quite quiet in the background. It's kind of like a sub note to everything else that's going on. But, you know, just kind of keep in mind this month, as you are changing shape, you might want to take 30 minutes every week and just look at what's working for you, what's feeling good for you, and maybe what you want to shift a little bit, and just check in with that. And as the month progresses, you may find a lot of clarity there. Now, relationship and vulnerability and connection and conversation are really strong themes for Cancerians this month. And I'm actually a little surprised, because so much of the energy is about you as a person out in the world and really owning your legacy. But these last 3 cards are about more intimate emotional experiences that are coming up. And I really love this. And I think, for me, I think Cancerians do some of the best, most beautiful work in the world when they feel the connection, when you all feel the connection emotively to beautiful, warm, nurturing things. And so it's a great balance. Look at this. Ace of Cups, Lovers, and King of Cups. The Ace of Cups is about new beginnings. It's about opening a new chapter when it comes to your relationships and when it comes to your emotional world. For those of you in partnerships, this is going to be a time where you feel you're stepping into that next level, getting deeper with it, feeling really full. For those of you who are looking for love, looking for connection, the Ace of Cups speaks to connecting to the highest vibration, I guess you could put it, of connection. This is about having a full cup within yourself, and the overflow is so magnetic and beautiful and powerful that it brings in really kind, loving, nurturing love, and none of the drama, right? Ace of Cups is all about that the essence of love being unconditional and consistent and easy. And it also has to do with our connection to ourselves, right? But there's a new beginning going on here, and it does take you to some really deep connective places. The Lovers doesn't just have to do with love. This is about connecting one-on-one and really interpersonally with people who really speak to you, really connect with you, really show up in your world and want to see and know you authentically. This isn't about the cover story. This often takes us to really deep conversations. So anywhere where maybe you're needing to have some deep conversations, if you are starting a new chapter when it comes to relationships, whether it's a work partnership, a love partnership, a family partnership of any kind, there's conversations going on here that are recalibrating your path moving forward in relationship, which is really powerful and can be really scary, right? Having those big conversations is a level of courage, because you really have to show what you really want, not just what you think the other person needs, not just assuming that you're going to figure out what the other person needs, play that role for them, and then be safe. These conversations require you to just say what you want, and you have no control over what the other person will bring to the table, right? I feel that these energies are very soft and kind. It's not meant to be about drama. I love that King of Cups is the final card out, because this is like the masterful water masculine, right? This is about being very emotionally intelligent and being able to navigate the waters of deep emotion with a sense of empowerment and strength. And so whether you have a King of Cups in your life or you are feeling like you're stepping into that King of Cups role, what's happening here is understanding that, your emotive authenticity is extremely powerful. And that it's actually the thing that is helping your life get stronger and bolder and bigger. It's not something to avoid or put in the shadows or cast out, but it's actually something that's helping you embody not only, deeper partnerships, but a bigger legacy when it comes to the world around you. So there's a lot of love in this reading today, and there's a lot of infusions. It's like you getting pushed gently by your spirit guides. It's like you're a kid on a scooter and or on like a tricycle, and you're getting that pushed. Keep going. Maybe you've graduated to a bike now. I don't know, but there's a sense of you feeling like you are a beginner at some of these skill sets, a beginner in learning this stuff. And that's just what happens with vulnerability and authenticity in life. We always feel we're beginning. It's a good thing. Okay, so I wrote a whole bunch of words for the month of February, and I put them in this little bowl. And I'm going to pull one for you to close out this reading. Oh, I love it. The word is trust. And yeah, I think when you are tapping into the next version of yourself and you're starting to get those green lights for moving forward on a new project, on a new relationship, on a new living situation, on anything, any aspect of your life, you're getting those green lights. And this is where we practice trust, I think, most deeply, is when we have to just put our foot on that path, feeling seen, feeling vulnerable, and we have to trust ourselves first and foremost, and trust this process, trust this bigger happening to carry us with it. And I think sometimes when things are going really well and we're really opening up, that can be where we need trust the most. We also need it in those times, dark nights of the soul and despair and pain. We also need trust. But weirdly enough, I think many of us are very good at coping with the hard stuff in life and figuring out how to do it. And when it comes to infusions of really positive things coming in, we actually have to practice those skill sets more at that point. And that's what's happening here. You know, expansion requires trust. You can kind of feel sometimes like you're out on a cresting wave with no safety equipment, no guarantee that this wave's ever going to stop cresting. And that can feel really scary. But of course, you're being held here. These energies are really in your corner. So keep that in mind as you keep exploring and expanding into this beautiful, emotive, deep ocean of love that is all around you, because it's strong this month, and I love seeing it for so many reasons. So good. I hope you have a beautiful February of transformation and ooey gooey goodness and connection and depth and love. I love you guys so much. I appreciate Cancerian energy more than you'll ever know. It's a really important part of my life. And like I said, if you're wanting more resources about the things coming up in the next few months, you can join me on Patreon. I'll be doing a lot more over there in the coming months. You can also find me on Instagram at Sarah Verba, or on my website. I have a handful of sessions still available in February. I'll be opening up March sessions very soon, so you can go over there. I'll leave my booking link below so you can connect with me. You can also find me on, you can also find PinkLune's gorgeous jewelry. That's where I was going with this, on her Etsy shop. So all of the links will be in the description box. Every way you can get in contact with me. I'd love to connect with you. I hope you are having a beautiful February, and I will see you in March for more Piscean magic.